Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dear all participants, thank you to join this session with our presentation. So let me introduce myself. I am Iradatullah from Oral and Maxillofacial Surgery Department, Hasanuddin University. In this session, I will try to explain our case report conduct with our supervisor, Dr. Gigi Abul Fauzi, Specialist Bedah Mulut Konsultan, with entitled Surgical Management of Benign Fibroepithelial Polyp Tumor on Female Patient age 48 years old, a case report in the 4th International Conference on Biophysical Technology and Dentistry. As an introduction, oral cavity is a dynamic region that constantly exposed to various external and internal stimuli, resulting in a myriad of disease from developmental to reactive and neoplastic. Benign oral soft tissue mesh encompass a wide variety of mesh lesions. Generally, they all share the property of being exuberant with minimal growth into deeper tissues. These lesions can be either neoplasma or non-neoplasma. Non-neoplastic lesions are usually inflammatory or represent a reaction to some kind of irritation or low-grade injury. Neoplasma, on the other hand, represent a process characterized with progressive autonomous growth. Fibroepithelial polyp is a polypoid outgrowth of epidermis and dermal fibrovascular tissue. This polyp is most commonly found in oral cavity, neck, and axilla, though any skin fold may be affected like groin area. These polyps are usually less than 5 cm in size and rarely occur before 4th decade of life. Histologically, they consist of a core of variably vascularized fibrous tissue lined by epithelium. In mucosal sites, similar acquired polypoid lesion with a fibrous core may be termed irritation traumatic fibroma, giant cell fibroma, or fibroepithelial polyps, depending on the clinical and histologic features. This case report aims to explain the management of fibroepithelial polyps, lesion treatment with biopsy excision surgery, and its incidence in adult patients. Case report. A 48 years old female patient with complaints on a mass on the right buccal mucosa that appeared about 1 year ago. Initially, the patient feels itchy on the right cheek and then bites the surface on the right buccal mucosa until there is a lump which approximately 1 cm in size on the right buccal mucosa. The mass is growing bigger without pain and never bleeding. The clinical examination shows a rounded pediculated mass. The color is normal as the surrounding tissue, springy consistency, and easy to move, with about 1.5 times 1.5 times 1 cm in size. The patient used a improper departial denture in the maxilla because it's covered the remaining root of the tooth. Based on the anamnesis and clinical examination, diagnosis is benign soft tissue tumor of the oral cavity in the mucosal region of the right cheek. Differential diagnosis is fibroma. The patient then treated with definitive therapy that we perform with surgical excision under local anesthesia. Histopathological examination result is fibroepithelial polyp on the right buccal mucosa. Step-by-step surgical excision procedures under local anesthesia that we perform is gain access and visibility to the operating area using a Minnesota retractor. After disinfection and injection of local anesthetic infiltration with vasoconstrictor, the surrounding mucosa is marked and incised on a mass of stem about 2 until 3 mm from the edge of the stem with a scalpel number 15 and followed by blunt dissection using bent artery clamp. Blunt dissection is performed until all parts of the tumor are free from the surrounding mucosa and muscle. The result of the operation obtain a tumor mass with 1.5 times 1.5 times 1 cm in size. With a springy consistency, the color is normal as the surrounding tissue, round and easy to move. The tumor mass is then fixed using 10% formalin solution and then sent to the anatomic pathology department for histopathological examination. Excision wounds are covered by primary closure with a simple interrupted suture. Control treatment after 3-day surgery. The patient looked good. There were no complaints of pain and swelling. Then we perform irrigation procedure on the operating area with natrium chloride solution. Control treatment on 7th day after surgery, the suture were removed and a good tissue healing appeared. 2 months follow-up after the surgical procedures showed buccal mucous tissue healing without any sign of recurrence. Macroscopically, a mass of tissue with 1.5 times 1.5 times 1 cm in size, white in color, with springy consistency, capsule coated, with a solid and homogeneous cross-section is obtained. Microscopically, tissue preparation show polypoid features, coated with squamous epithelium without certain abnormalities. Then underneath, there is a dense collagen connective tissue and fibrous connective tissue. There is no malignant cells found in tissue mass. So this is the microscopic evaluation from the histopathological examination result of tumor mass with the hematoxylin eosin staining. Under 4 and 10 times magnification, there is circular pattern of dense collagen connective tissue and fibrous connective tissue. Results of histopathological examination through microscopic evaluation with hematoxylin eosin staining. It was concluded that fibroepithelial polyp on the right buccal mucosa. 2 months follow-up showed improvement on surgical wound healing with no sign of recurrence. Discussion session is, the incidence of fibroepithelial polyp is very common with up to 40% from the other oral mucosal pathological condition. Fibroepithelial polyp in the oral cavity are the most common tumors with an estimated prevalence of 12 per 1,000 populations. Fibroepithelial polyp occur from the 4th decade of life to its peak in the 6th decade. Barker and Lucas report a higher incidence in women than men, with the age of occurrence between the 3rd and 7th decade. In this patient's case report, her age is 48 years old. Fibroepithelial polyp are benign lesions that appear as localized, well-defined, movable, elastic hard to soft masses. Fibroepithelial polyps themselves occur as a result of chronic repair process in the form of scar tissue and granulation which produce a fibrous mass in the submucous. This is due to the common submucosal response to trauma from teeth or dental prosthesis. In this case, the patient used a partial dental prosthesis in the upper jaw with poor condition because it covers the remaining root tooth. Histopathologically, fibroepithelial polyps exhibit pattern of collagen arrangement depending on the amount of irritation and the size of the lesions, which a radiating pattern has been found to be associated with sites which are immobile in the nature, like for example pellets, and have a greater degree of trauma. Then B, circular pattern is found to be associated with sites that are flexible in nature and have lesser degree of trauma, for example thick, whereas true fibroma does not show any pattern. Photomicrograph on 40 times magnification using hematoxylin eosin staining, whereas on A is radiating pattern and B is circular pattern of dense collagen connective tissue and fibrous connective tissue. Definitive therapy on fibroepithelial polyp is performed by surgical excision procedure. However, it is very important to submit excised tissue for microscopic examination to evaluate histopathological condition, because other benign or malignant tumors can also mimic the clinical appearance of fibroepithelial polyps. Recurrence is rare and is mostly caused by repetitive trauma in the same location. In some cases, the elimination of possible chronic irritation factor includes adjusting removable dentures and fixed bridges. In this case, the authors have made efforts to educate patients to perform improvement treatment including removal of remaining tooth roots and remake standard dental prosthesis. The differential diagnosis of fibroepithelial polyp in the oral cavity includes fibrous proliferation, localized fibrous hyperplasia, traumatic or irritation fibroma, and elastofibromatous, all of which will show similar histological features. Conclusion is, as you can see, fibroepithelial polyps should be considered in differential diagnosis on the patient with mass in the oral cavity, including in the buccal mucosa, tongue, or gingiva. Definitive therapy on fibroepithelial polyp is by surgical excision with biopsy procedure. The regularity pattern of collagen arrangement on histopathological examination of fibroepithelial polyps can show the degree of irritation and location of the lesion. Recurrence is rarely occurs after surgical excision unless repetitive trauma irritation is still present at the same location. As acknowledgement, the authors will say thank you to the committee of the 4th International Conference on Biophysical Technology in Dentistry 2020, Faculty of Dentistry, Hasanuddin University, and the Dental Hospital of Hasanuddin University for their assistance and cooperation, especially to entire team of Oral and Maxillofacial Surgery Department, Hasanuddin University for their support. Thank you for your attention. If you have any question, don't hesitate to send me an email on iratullah13@gmail.com.